All new this morning, the city of Detroit's housing market, like nearly everywhere across the country, spiked by double digits last year. The rise in prices, along with the lack of affordable housing, has left many Detroiters without a path to becoming homeowners. But come 2023, Rocket Mortgage is launching a new program to help Detroiters save for a home and navigate the tricky financial waters of becoming a first-time owner.
Rocket Mortgage launching a new program aimed at helping some of the country's most renter-rich cities become places for thriving homeowners. It's called the Rocket Wealth Accelerator, and Rob Lockett is the company's head of national housing development.
It's not so much understanding the movement of money. It's understanding kind of the steps that it takes to be a homeowner. Money
is matched dollar for two groups: those who want to start saving for a home in the long run and those who need some financial stability first. $500 matching for the first group and $300 for the second.
We want to make sure that individuals are stable first before they kind of accelerate that journey into homeownership.
The pilot program will set aside $2 million to be split among 4 cities: Milwaukee, Atlanta, Cleveland, and Detroit, helping 2,000 people, including 1,000 in Detroit. It comes at a crucial time for the city, which just this year became a city that was majority homeowners for the first time in a decade. The cities also have high African-American populations, where as many as 40% of black families don't have emergency savings, and decades of systematic racism has locked them out from owning their own homes.
One of our goals is to dismantle those systems that have historically kept black people from buying and achieving wealth through homeownership.
And the program holds a special place of pride for Lockett.
Being African American, but also being able to affect the financial futures and outcomes of many thousands of people.
And joining us here in studio this morning is the executive director of LISC Detroit, Camille Walker-Banks. Camille, thank you so much for joining me. LISC is the local initiative support coalition, and you're partnering with the Rocket Community Fund for this, right?
Yes.
So tell me, before we get into the specifics of this new program, what does it mean to be able to bring this to Detroit, your hometown?
Oh, gosh, thank you for asking. What it means is now my Detroiters, my fellow Detroiters, now have a tool, an opportunity to really get engaged in the housing process. We're in the midst of a crisis, as we all are aware, and this partnership is going to really change the trajectory of people in my hometown, in other cities across the country, who need an opportunity to save and be able to purchase their first homes or emergency assets, whatever it is that's needed in order to, the whole goal is to build multi-generational wealth.
Right, which has been so hard, historically for communities of color.
Yes.
There are 2 tracks here. There's one for the long-term home buyers, one for people who need financial legs underneath them. So let's start with that one. How does that side of this program work?
So, yeah, the on-ramp is you want to save some money. You are looking at purchasing a home or another larger asset, or maybe it's stabilizing your home. Perhaps you need a furnace, for example. So this opportunity will match the savings along with some credit enhancement and educational opportunities. But at the end of the day, the goal is to get cash money into the hands of Detroiters so that they're able to reach their goals.
And the other end of this is the $500 matching that is for long-term home savings. People want to become first-time home buyers maybe, but don't quite know how to get that started. So how does that work?
And that's only one piece of it. The way to get started is for someone who wants to participate to go through our Centers for Working Families network. We have 15 Centers for Working Families across the city. There are 3 that will be launching at this particular program, and we want this program to be as successful as possible. I mean, my goal is to ensure that we spend every dime of Rocket Community Fund's money. It's the Rocket Wealth Accelerator.
Right.
And let's spend it quickly, so I encourage all Detroiters to get engaged by contacting one of our partners, doing their, working the plan, trusting the process, and then being in a position to actually take advantage of what the other housing programs that LISC offers is opening doors for Detroiters.
Sure.
And so now Detroiters will have the savings. We have a lot of down payment assistance programs coming online. And the biggest hurdle is, well, how do I save for
Right.
the down payment? And this is an opportunity to do so. And it isn't limited to just home ownership. I mean, there's long-term financial and retirement incentives, you know, a reason to save for that. But again, at the end of the day, we want to be able to pass along multi-generational wealth, assets to the next generation of Detroiters, and that's what this tool will help Detroiters accomplish.
And one last thing, this program hasn't quite started yet. People will be able to sign up starting 2023, we think in January or maybe a little later? In January.
I would say in January, maybe February, but why not? Let's get the phones, you know, let's make some calls so that it be known that this program, because it's very important. The money isn't finite, so let's utilize it and take full advantage of this. I mean, we're heading into what we think may be tough times in 2023. Personally, I'm traumatized by the last downturn still. So this is an opportunity. This is LISC and the Rocket Community Foundation getting in front of what could potentially be a tough time for Black families, families of color in Detroit. And so this is our effort at being proactive.
Looking to help a lot of folks. Camille Walker-Banks with
Absolutely.
LISC. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Grant.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having me.